You are listening to WHOA Podcast, coming to you from Gainesville, Florida. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the WHOA GNV Podcast, the podcast bringing you businesses and individuals that make you go, whoa. Today on the show, we have the sisters of Krispy Kreme, Courtney Russell and Kayla Jones. Welcome, ladies. How are you?
Good morning.
We are
trying to wake up.
Are you excited? Are you pumped?
I am. I don't have that much energy, though.
Yeah.
right?
Like I said, I have to do a lot to get this kind of energy up at 7:30, 7:45 in the morning to get ready for this. But thank you so much for being here. What we're going to do today, we're going to have an epic interview. I want to ask you all about your origin stories and just hear all about Krispy Kreme. But before we get into that, I want to go to my man Ty over here and see what's going on in the best of Gainesville world. There's been a lot happening. This is airing on November 12th, so today's Veterans Day, right?
So, yeah.
Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans.
Happy Veterans Day.
Yeah, special shout out to my dad. I don't know if you know this, but he's a veteran. He flew F-111s.
Very cool.
Well, he flew a lot of things, but F-111 was what he flew in the Operation Desert Storm back in the day.
Awesome.
So just super grateful to all of our armed forces out there, everybody that helps protect our freedom. You guys are the best. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much.
But what's going on in the best of Gainesville world, man? Anything new?
A lot of new things. Since it's Veterans Day, basketball season's now started.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're coming off a win against South Carolina this past Saturday.
Yeah, hopefully.
Right now we're still in October, so we got Tom Petty weekend coming up at like 3 different locations. It's a bye week, so Gainesville's crazy.
Yeah.
So a lot of things going on.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. And I know like when we recorded our last episode, I mean, Hurricane Michael was coming down, like just starting to hit. Like it hadn't really even hit then when we had recorded. So for those of you guys that listen often, you know that we record way in advance. We're trying to get ahead and everything. Trying to plan for Thanksgiving and some of the stuff that's coming up. Yeah. But man, like Hurricane Michael was just crazy in terms of the destruction that it had on the communities up there. The thing that just absolutely impresses me about Gainesville, and I don't know if you guys had seen this, but this community just comes together so well when these type of disasters happen. I just saw, just videos of trucks and trucks and trucks going up that way. I mean, I even saw like the crew from like Sonny's Barbecue, like loading up all their trucks, just taking food and heading that way. I mean, just seeing everybody who comes together in these, terrible moments is truly inspiring. And I think if there's anything positive to look at when it comes to these things, it's that. So I just personally want to thank everybody who went out that way, all the first responders and just all the businesses and the crews that went out there just to help. You guys are awesome, and you're what makes Gainesville awesome. So
yeah, absolutely.
So thanks a ton. Ladies, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah,
this is super exciting. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I had told you, Ty, like I actually think that the reason I originally reached out was because of a Instagram post. And I thought it was super unique because one, this is a business that's been here for a long time, right? I mean, I remember it when I was in school. I went to school from 2000 to 2004. And so just like seeing it kind of stay where it's been, and then I won't even talk about some of the development that's happening in the area. I mean, you guys, it's a great location, right? It's like right there, right next to campus. I mean, I don't think you can ask for anything better. But I saw a post of you guys talking about a gentleman that had been working for you guys for like 28 years, and I was like, man, that's crazy. I mean, to keep a team member for any amount of time, let alone like 28 years, like that's a long time. And then as I was preparing and talking to you guys and getting ready for today, like I come to find out that this is pretty normal. Like, you guys have a lot of long-term team members that have been with you. So anyway,
a few of them.
Yeah, I'm super excited to get into it. So like, why don't we just go ahead and start? Like, what I would love to hear, we'd like to start with the origin stories, right? So I want to kind of jump like way back, as far back as you guys can remember. Right, okay. Because this has been in the family for a while, right? So tell us.
I actually talked to my grandfather last night too, so I could brush up on that.
On some of the history.
The story
okay. So like, why don't you give us some of the history of the business?
I had to explain a podcast, which was interesting. Right.
Well, I mean, hopefully, like, he can like sit in or listen to it, you know.
Yeah,
and
he can listen. He's
share
just,
it with him.
We're like, it's kind of like the radio.
Yeah,
but not.
Well,
yeah.
Well, and also thank you guys for. I mean, they brought Krispy Kreme Doughnuts, which is like the best thing that you could possibly do at 8:00 in the morning for a podcast. So thank you for that as well. I'm definitely.
I didn't think it'd be fair to show up without any.
So yeah, tell us the story. Throw us way back.
Okay, so my grandfather was up in Virginia, and he had worked for Krispy Kreme he's been in the company for over 50 years. I have notes, hang on. So I can give you exact years because it's insane to me, the stuff that he's done. I texted it to her last night while I was talking to him. 1958, he started working for Vernon Rudolph, who started Krispy Kreme. His sister had a franchise. Okay. So he worked for him, he worked for her. And then over the years, he ended up working for corporate and traveling. He traveled for them for 14 years or so. And then the opportunity to buy the shop came up in 91. And they ended up buying it, what was the date? March 22nd, 1992 was when we got our shop.
And that's the one in Gainesville?
This one. Mm-hmm.
And so in 92, was it located there or was it somewhere else?
No. It's been in the same location for 50 years this year.
Wow.
Prior to that, it was on Main Street. It has been owned by corporate, and then it was a franchise owner, and then it was corporate again, and now it's ours.
So that's been there for 50 years. Mm-hmm. But you guys took ownership of it in 92. Mm-hmm. Okay. And that was your grandparents who had taken ownership of it.
My grandparents did.
And now it's being passed to...
And then my father came in because he'd worked with my grandfather previously, and moved there with little bitty me. We moved to Gainesville from Orlando. That's where they were from. I was like 2 or 3. Okay. So we came here, and my dad kind of started taking it over a little bit, managing it, and then he took it over completely. And now I've taken it over, and he's been passing it. Pretty much, there's a few things here and there that he'll come in for and help me with, and I can call him anytime if I have questions, but generally...
he knows everything about everything. So, I mean, he started from, like, he worked his way up to the entire thing, so he did routes and production and cooking and...
Yeah, actually, our shop didn't have any routes when we started. All of North Central Florida is our territory. So we deliver to Publix's, convenience stores, all of that kind of stuff. But we added routes when we came. So we have 5 routes that go out 7 days a week.
Were those always there? Like when did you start so that's like a distribution standpoint, right?
Yeah,
so you guys
we're actually like a factory.
Okay, so you guys are making the donuts in-house, like super fresh, and then you're distributing them to like Publix's and different places. When did you guys start doing that? Has it always been there?
No, we introduced the routes when we first came to this shop. And actually, fun fact, my grandfather said that the reason that they approached him to take the shop was they were trying to take all the computers out. And I didn't get a whole lot of details because he switched subject, and it's kind of hard to wrap back around with him. But I was like, I really need to get into that because that's really interesting to me. That like they wanted to take the computers out of the store. But we've also renovated the shop since then. The front of it, everything in the back's original, signs original.
Yeah.
So
has there been any issues with the sign, with the city and that kind of thing that you can recall?
No, because it's grandfathered in.
So as long as it's there,
as long as it's lit up and it's there, it's there.
Yeah, it's an awesome sign. I mean, it's like super classic. Like this thing should stay up forever.
I'm not gonna lie, some of the hurricanes and stuff make me nervous sometimes, but it's there. So
yeah,
it's strong. It's not going anywhere.
Do they still like make any pieces? I mean, if the lights go out and stuff, you can still get them.
Yeah, we can still get it fixed. There's
awesome.
a local place in town that fixes them. They also fix our hot sign, but that's a newer sign.
Yeah,
it's not the original, but yeah. So
it definitely has that like original look to it. I mean, I don't know if it's just the signage or like how much, you know, like you said, there hasn't been a ton of renovation, but it just has that classic style to it, and I don't know, I love it, man.
Yeah. Oh, I love the building. It's great. You don't see buildings that look like that anymore.
So when you guys moved in there, and that was 1992? Mm-hmm. Okay, so when you guys took over the franchise in 1992, did you buy the property with it?
Yes, we own the property.
Okay, so like, so that's awesome. I mean, what do you guys think?
So we're there for a while.
Yeah.
We're not going anywhere.
no one could buy the property and say, hey, like,
no.
Move Krispy Kreme somewhere else.
All the buildings that you had mentioned around us, when they were building those, we got calls constantly asking if we were closing too, if there were rumors we were going to be closing constantly, and we're not going anywhere. So
that area is definitely developing crazy now. I know like we have some listeners who aren't as familiar with Gainesville, but most of our listeners are Gainesville based. So I mean, if you know anything about Northwest 13th Street and University Avenue, I mean, it's just been blowing up.
Whole new
I mean,
worlds.
Obviously you got the Standard right there. You got the Publix across the street, which is new. You guys are gonna have a new complex within the next few years going up right across the street, right? Because there's that plot of land right there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of development happening in this particular area. So it's good for you guys. It's only going to continue
awesome.
to help business.
Well, we're open 24 hours, so it has its downfalls too. You have your middle of the night college kids that show up and cause some problems in the middle of the night, but my midnight team's pretty used to it. So.
Oh my God, you have to give us an example now.
Have you seen an uptick in that since the standards come in?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, because they can just walk right next door.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you have people that flash people in the lobby. We've had people we've had to tell to put their clothes back on.
Oh my gosh, is it more of like after coming from the clubs and they're all a little tipsy?
Shoes are off.
Shoes are off.
I think someone's fallen asleep in the bathroom before.
Oh yeah, bums fall asleep in the bathroom all the time too.
Yeah, people gotta be like, you've got to get up. You know, we have customers. You can't be asleep.
Yeah, one of our employees on the midnight shift, Virginia, she's been there a long time. And anytime there's a bum, she'll usually bring him a cup of coffee, but she wakes him up, and I don't want to be woken up by her.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
So, but yeah, to your point earlier, we do have a lot of people that have been there a very long time that have seen me grow up, her grow up.
Yeah, what's that like? I mean, they got to be basically family, right? I mean, all these people, they've seen you grow up since you were kids.
Yeah. Alton, the one that you were talking about, his mom actually worked for us as well. She actually worked for the company for 30 years, so she saw the previous owners. And we like to joke that we inherited Alton with the store. So he actually went around for a long time and was telling people he was my dad's brother. And at one point we had to be like, you got to stop that.
You can't do that.
He was going into grocery stores like,
oh yeah, I'm the brother.
Yeah, and telling them what they needed to do with their stuff, and it was like, all right.
I'm sure he just felt like it by that point. You know, well, that's awesome. I mean, is this something that as kids you just knew that you were going to be kind of like evolving into? I mean, did you ever
No, actually, you know, it was never this is what you're going to end up doing. You know,
so there's no pressure there from parents or like
pressure or anything. Yeah, it kind of just. It just happened.
That's cool.
So
I mean, I managed a few places before. You know, it was always an option. It was always like maybe one day I can get involved with it. And so, you know, I was pregnant with my daughter and had that conversation with my father one day. And I mean, I had worked there in high school a little bit here and there. You know, you work at your family's place,
right?
And then I came into the office and started taking over. And then she joined us this year. So I manage it, and she keeps me in line.
I'm the organizer.
She organizes me because I'm very scatterbrained.
Which is vital. That's so vital.
I'm better with the people and the managing and figuring out problems, and she's better with keeping me organized. And
well, that's cool that there wasn't really like a pressure from the parents. I think when you kind of think of like old school business, I would love nothing more than for my kids to say, oh yeah, like I want to work at Daddy's scooter shop and and kind of fall in line and become businessmen and that kind of thing. I got 2 young boys right now, which would be awesome, but of course I'm not going to pressure them. I want them to do whatever they would love to do with their lives. So I think it's kind of cool that pressure wasn't there, but it still kind of like happened.
Right. Yeah.
So that's neat.
It just happened and it worked out, and I think it's kind of better that way because it was our choice. So
tell me a little bit about like the evolution, if you will, like because the brand is, I mean, in a way, to me, it kind of feels a little nostalgic. It's a little, sure. It's classy. It's that classic brand, right? So, like, what things do you guys do to kind of keep it fresh? 2018. I know before the podcast you were saying that, you do like, let me do a boomerang. Talking about like social media, Instagram. I mean, is that kind of something vital to like messaging in 2018 for your brand?
Yeah, well, I mean, I just started the Instagram, and we have a Twitter too, but I'm more so on Instagram, mainly because we're not a corporate store, so it's more fun for people in Gainesville to see like our people. So a lot of the likes we get are on the workers' pictures, like on Alton and Sabrina and stuff like that, and people think like, oh wow, that's interesting, like they've been here, Alton's been here longer than we have. So it's like
people forget, or they don't know that we're not a corporation. We're not.
Well, how many?
We're still a small business, and we're locally based. We're in Gainesville. We both grew up here, so
I don't know enough about like the Krispy Kreme model. I mean, is there a lot of corporate stores?
Yes.
Or are they mostly franchises? Do you guys know?
There's a lot of corporate stores and there's a lot of franchisees. It was half and half. The last meeting I went to, I think.
Okay.
So they're all over the world. They have the world ones are more franchise, I believe, like in the UK and Australia, New Zealand. They're all over the place. In the US, there's like Tampa's a franchise, Jacksonville's a franchise, Orlando's a franchise. Most of Florida's a franchise.
Cool. So what's it like working with us sisters? I work with my brother, so like I can understand some of the frustrations with this sometimes. So I'm just wondering if you guys get along really well, or
I think we get along good.
Yeah, we get along.
What
but
do you think?
Growing up, we didn't. But,
right. Well, we're 5.5 years apart. So she was like up here, and I was down here for going through school and everything like that. But I think probably once she moved out is when we actually started talking to each other. When she got older and knew she could be like, oh, look what I did. Like, don't tell mom, or something like that. And then I wouldn't because I wasn't a narc anymore. But, I mean, working together I think is fine. I mean, I know that, she's my boss, so I have the understanding. I'm not trying to be like, well, she's my sister, I can get away with anything or anything like that.
I don't really boss her around either.
She doesn't boss me around.
And then she tells me when I have an attitude. So.
Right, so it kind of works out.
Yeah.
I can keep her in her place, but I think we have a good working relationship because I know that's something like
we know what each other's strengths are.
Yeah, and I think it's something my dad was a little worried about in the beginning, just like, okay, like work stays at work. When you're home, it doesn't go home with you, and I think that's what he tries to do a lot too. So, which helps.
My parents had the same conversation with my brother and I. I think they were super worried about like just our relationship and how it might be affected, and like when I'm here, like I'm the boss, and just they always constantly remind me like you guys are brothers first, no matter what, you're brothers first.
Absolutely.
So I
you can't replace family. You need them. So.
Well, it's cool to see like the business, and then knowing that you guys are still kind of doing the manufacturing, if you will, the producing part in the back of the shop is super, super cool. Give me a little bit of what's that like? What can the machines do? Like how much they can produce?
Okay.
What's the most chaotic moment ever? Like I'm kind of interested. Like was there like, hey, Gators won the national championship? Everyone's like, let's go to Krispy Kreme. Like
no.
Did that happen? Like there was so much chaos during those times. I'm just kind of
had
like
some chaotic moments.
Yeah, just give me like one of the chaos stories when the machines were just like
just cranking. National Donut Day.
National Donut Day,
no,
which is when,
actually that's not even the worst.
That's not the worst.
No?
So not the worst,
the
but
worst?
they were cranking.
The worst was Talk Like a Pirate Day a couple years ago.
I saw pictures.
They have canceled this event, so we don't do it anymore.
Why? Because it was such a huge success. Was it free? Was it like giving out free product?
What it
So
started out with was if you came in and talked like a pirate, you get a free donut. If you came in and you dressed like a pirate, you get a free dozen. Well, that year they decided to extend that to Snapchat, and if you had Snapchat and used their filter, that counted as the costume. I don't know if you know this, but there's a university around the corner, and everybody has Snapchat.
Oh yes, I know. I'm heavy on Snapchat.
Right.
I'm actually going to pull up my phone right now and Snapchat while you're telling this story.
Right. So we're sitting there, and we knew it was going to be bad. Our machines can pump out about 250 dozen an hour. If you're going nonstop and there's not really any gaps. And we had a 2-hour line.
A 2-hour line?
Yes. A 2-hour line. But what I thought was cool is the people that actually dressed up and participated the way it was originally set up for. You had people out there playing music. They were dressed up like pirates. We had people with a parrot on their shoulder. They came in like an inflatable raft that they brought in with them. That was pretty cool.
True story. I could rock that day for you guys. I'm just saying, like, if you want to keep it going, I have the most epic pirate costume of all time. And I bought it because I was going on a Disney cruise with my family, and Disney does like a pirate night or something. And I 100% look like Johnny Depp. Everybody thought I was one of the characters on the boat. Their kids kept coming up and having their pictures taken with me. It's an epic costume. B-roll the costume. I have a picture. We'll put up a little slide showing it. Don't let me forget, because it's awesome.
Was that something every store did in the country, or was it just you guys?
Well, you have to participate. So if you're a franchise, you have the option of participating or not participating. But can you imagine if I had not participated in it, the uproar that would happen in Gainesville? So, I mean, that, and it's honestly, it was really fun. I enjoyed it. I honestly love days that are like that. You keep going and everybody's moving, and as long as you keep everybody in a good mood and you don't have, one sour person, you can completely ruin the mood of the whole day. But
is there revenue coming from like other stuff? I mean, selling coffee or anything? I mean,
on that day?
Yeah.
No,
it's just like give me my free dozen, give me my free donut.
That day
is
just kind of a
give all your product away day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's why we don't do it anymore. It's not very profitable.
You don't think from a marketing standpoint that the promo and the awareness and that kind of thing
it was
worth
great for marketing and whatnot. We do a lot of other days too. Like you mentioned, today's Veterans Day.
Yep.
Ish. And in the what are we in the future now? So.
We always record these a few weeks in advance, like we said before. So when this airs, it'll be Veterans Day.
Right. So we're giving away a free donut and coffee to veterans.
Cool. That's awesome.
But we also have other days like National Donut Day.
Which is when? Do you know the date?
It's in June.
It's in June.
It's in June at some point. It's like some Friday in June. Or is that the birthday?
A little bit. Anyway,
is that the birthday?
There's birthday, there's donut day, there's 12/12, which is December 12th, so I know that one. They changed the birthday.
They want the birthday to be on a Friday, so they'll change when they celebrate it. So
that's like the birthday of Krispy Kreme, you mean?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, the promotions
it's not your birthday, Kayla?
Generally,
no, it's not my birthday.
No, but hers is in July.
It is in July.
So. Yeah, I mean, we have our days that are promotions where we give stuff. Halloween is coming up, so we'll have a promotion then, which they've kind of adjusted it once already. So
I'm dressing up as a pirate for that day
then. But we'll have a promotion then, so it'll probably be a trick or treat one where we give away a donut.
Yeah.
So
kind of circling back to like all the building and stuff over there. I mean, do you guys feel? I mean, especially with that huge structure called the Standard, do you feel like it hurt you in a way, or did it help?
No, I mean, I wish you could see the sign from 13th still.
Yeah, kind of blocks it.
Yeah, but I don't really think it did anything to hurt us. I think we look like the Up House, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. You get all those like construction workers coming in during like, that time. I can imagine like construction workers, all of them being like donuts and coffee every morning.
In our bathrooms. So
yeah, I think that was one of them that fell asleep in the bathroom.
Possibly.
I don't know. Dad told me something. I don't know.
Probably.
I was like,
we get some interesting characters, for sure.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about like, I don't know, one of the biggest challenges to, now that you guys are stepping into this role, this is becoming your baby now in a lot of ways. I mean, what's the challenge in, I like saying entrepreneurship and business ownership?
I think people and managing people is the hardest part.
It's a common theme. That's a very common theme.
Well, because there's so many different types of people, and you can't manage every single person exactly the same, but you have to treat them the same. So finding that balance, finding a way to look at them as an individual person, but still be able to keep them following the same standards is a challenge. Everybody is good at something. And we have people that are great at customer service, people that are great in the back. But I think, finding what they're good at and putting them in that position is difficult, and keeping them to continually want to do that position well is difficult as well. Not to mention, as you said, we've had people for a very long time, 17 years, 18 years, 28 years, 10 years, 5 years. I have all over the board. And so they've seen me grow up. They've seen her grow up. So we've had to kind of shift from, you saw me as a 5-year-old to I'm your boss.
I was a baby.
Hey, remember that time I was 2 years old? Well, it's over. I'm your boss. Get back to work.
Exactly.
Right.
Could you imagine?
It's interesting. But
they handle it well.
Yeah. I think just like I said, you got to look at everybody individually, and big companies can't do that. It's harder for them to do that. But I'll hire a person, and then if they don't work in retail, I'll give them a shot in the back. I'll give them a shot doing cleanup. I'll give them a shot somewhere else before I just decide, okay, well, they're not going to work out. And I try to find where they're going to fit in my shop. So that's the biggest challenge, I think.
Yeah.
And then everything after that just kind of flows. I mean, you have your hiccups, you have machine breakdowns, you have, like today we had a van stolen.
Wait, what? You had a van stolen?
Yep. So I woke up this morning and I had a text from my assistant manager, and it said, the van just got stolen in Lake City.
But this is this morning.
This morning.
Like, as you're getting ready to come here.
It was in Lake City?
Because, I mean, it's only 8:30 right now.
I thought it was stolen from, like, our property.
No. No, it was on a route this morning, and it was at one of the stops, and my driver left the key in it, and it wandered off.
So you were like, okay, well, I'll handle it after this podcast I'm going to, or what?
Well, my assistant manager is also my route supervisor, and he's been with us. He's Michael Heathcote is my assistant, and he and his mother have worked with us for decades. I think I don't remember how long he's been with us. But anyhow, so he handles a lot of my stuff. I rely on him a lot. He knows a lot. He has a lot of history with us. He has a lot of history with the shop. He looks out for us and the shop. And so he's handling it right now. And then when I am done with this, I need to go find a rental van for a fundraiser. We have to deliver it tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry I'm laughing so much.
Unless I get a text saying they found it.
Laughing at this. I'm like entertained by the fact that you're like, yeah, I'm still gonna go to this podcast and like, handle this part of the business while like this van. That's the part that's funny to me. I don't think it's funny that your van got stolen, so I'm super sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. It's definitely entertaining.
It's honestly kind of funny.
I would be freaking out. I would be like,
is it a Krispy Kreme branded van too? So,
yeah.
Okay.
And there's products.
Sorry that we're not live right now.
Yes.
We're live. Everybody, look out for the Krispy Kreme.
Someone's just taking free donuts around Lake City.
Van. There are donuts in the back.
That's pretty
wow.
cool.
So, yep. So that rolled off. It's not the first time that's happened. This is the third.
The third time.
Wow. Yep. One time from our property, someone walked over from ABC drunk, took one of our vans.
I have this lesson that I've learned, and that's called learning from your failures. So like after the first and second time, like maybe I don't know. I'm just always thinking, like, could we do something by now to like not make sure that doesn't happen next time?
Right. Well, generally we encourage them not to leave their keys in the van.
That's a start.
Yeah.
That's step one to not having it stolen. Is bring your keys with you. So we'll be figuring something out here soon when we get back.
It's always going to be something though.
Oh, always. There's always.
It's
something.
not like a car can't be stolen without the keys either. So I mean,
very true.
But we've just had van bad luck lately. They've been breaking down and 2 and 3 at a time. So we have 5 routes and 8 vans. So.
The struggles of business sometimes.
Yeah.
like you said, just there's always little hiccups and stuff.
I mean, like I said, I have Michael handling. If it's an emergency, they'll call me. If there's something that's crazy, they'll call me and I'll go out and handle it. I've driven out to breakdowns before and swapped vans with people, and God forbid we have one of those days like Pirate Day and a machine breaks down and I can't make donuts.
Yeah.
That's always terrifying. And it's happened before. We've had big fundraiser nights and our machines have broken down and there's nothing you can do about it. You just go in and fix it and do what you need to do. Keep going.
Yep.
So
you gotta persevere. You gotta have that grit and that grind.
Yeah. So on the fundraiser side, when I think of Krispy Kreme, I grew up here too, so Krispy Kreme's been something forever for me. I think of the Hot Now sign and fundraisers. Mm-hmm. So if you could speak a little bit first on, since you're talking about fundraisers already, how that works.
Okay.
And maybe how small of a fundraiser you could come to the shop with.
Okay.
With how big of a fundraiser you guys could supply to also.
Yeah, our fundraisers are awesome. They're the easiest ones that you could possibly do. You sell the donuts and then you place your order the day before you need to pick them up. And then you pick them up and pay for them. We have special pricing. There's a minimum of 50 dozen. So that's all that you have to sell to qualify for a fundraiser. Or certificates. We have certificates too, which is for a dozen glaze, so they can come get them when the hot sign's on if they want to, which is our pride and joy. You flip the switch and it's like
boom,
bugs to a light.
So
Everybody
you basically
comes
sell
in.
like a card with a free dozen or a paid for dozen.
Yeah, it's like a $1. It's a piece of
Okay.
paper.
Okay, cool.
And then profits 50-50. So, I mean, our biggest one was 2,800 dozen. And that was a school.
Wow.
Okay.
I can't remember where that school. I think it was Kelly something. But 2,800. We had to rent a U-Haul for it because it didn't fit in our vans. And we deliver if it's 150 to 300, depending on where it is. And we have a calendar for delivery. I'll deliver it. She can deliver them too. I'm actually delivering one tomorrow.
We have 2 deliveries tomorrow.
Yeah, we have 2 deliveries tomorrow.
And one
today,
on Thursday, I believe.
One Friday. So we kick out fundraisers left and right. There's BOGO cards and coffee you can sell as well, but nothing sells like the original glazed.
And can anyone kind of come in to do a fundraiser if it's like a youth soccer team or whatever? They can just call and say, hey, I'm trying to raise a little bit.
It's a nonprofit. Any nonprofit can do it. But we encourage people to call and talk to us rather than look on the website. The website's great, but corporate handles the website, and sometimes there's glitches from the website to where we are. Just going from, they have so many different stores to manage, so many different stores to keep up with, and we only have one. So, and we're very personal with it. But it's a really easy fundraiser. There's nothing simpler.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And the hot now sign. So how many times does that thing turn on, and then per day, and then what type of uptick do you see when that hot now sign comes in? Because I know I'm probably infinitely more likely to stop in once
We've had crashes out front when the hotline turns on.
Are you serious?
Screeches into the parking lot.
Yep. So
wow. They just go down a lot quicker too when they're hot. You can throw like 2 down. You're like, did it happen? I don't know.
So it depends on what we're doing that day.
Yeah.
So if we have a 2,800 dozen fundraiser, it's going to be on all day and all night.
So you'll turn it on even if you're cooking for something huge?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. If we're cooking,
so
the light is on.
you can always get one off the line.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'll
Very
never
cool.
refuse someone a hot donut.
Okay.
But yeah, we turn it on every single time. Usually it's from around 6 a.m. to 10 or 11 a.m. and then again at night from around 6 p.m. to 10 or 11 p.m. But like I said, that varies. So sometimes it's on more, sometimes it's on less. It just depends on what we need for routes, what we need for fundraisers.
Yeah.
So
You talk about a fascinating marketing tactic. I mean, because it feels very old school, right? But just like that, I mean, like you said, bugs to a light. I mean,
every single time.
It works every single time. It just draws
watch
those people in, like driving by, like, oh, the sign's on everywhere.
The front will be completely empty. We turn it on, and suddenly we have 12 customers in the shop.
Yeah.
So, but we do run 40-pound doughs, which ends up being about 50 pounds before they cut it. Then after it goes through, it ends up making about 75 dozen. So that's about how big our batches are. So sometimes we have people call and they're like, hey, can I get a hot dozen? And it just doesn't work like that. You can't just whip up 12 donuts and
They'll say, oh, can you just put them in the microwave? Like, no, you can't. Or like, can you just make us a dozen or make us this? And we're like, that's not,
it just doesn't work that way. It just...
How large of an order would it have to be to get someone to turn the machine on right there?
Right
if
there.
I came in and I was like, I want them hot.
Are you willing
he wants
to
a challenge. He wants a challenge right
about
now.
An hour?
Yeah, I've got.
Plus?
Yep.
I could probably do it for 30 dozen.
30 dozen? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
I might have to try it.
Ty's gonna try to put this whole thing.
They're all gonna be like, no.
We'll walk over.
They won't be hot by the time they're all packed in boxes, but
we're just gonna eat them off the line. we'll do our own pirate day
what
for the
some
podcast,
people,
and we'll just feed the listeners.
For the B-roll video, where we'll buy 30 dozen. I'll dress up as a pirate. Ty and I will be.
Yeah, we'll go live on Best of Gainesville, and we'll just feed the people.
It'll be a day.
We could do that really easily.
Stop joking with me, man. This is like,
no, this is something we could do.
This would be awesome.
He's so serious.
Yeah, he's so serious right now.
Like,
the funny thing is, like, I'm kind of game. Like,
I know, we're like,
kind of like, okay,
if you want, come in on a Tuesday, kind of boring.
This has never happened before. We should totally hash these details out. All right, so
we love a good fun thing.
A minimum.
Yes.
If we do a minimum of 30 dozen, you'll let us do hot ones. Like, you're gonna make hot ones. So 30 dozen. Okay. But you have to do what? We're paying for these? What are we doing?
Yeah, I think we're going to pay for them.
We'll help you with them.
Okay.
We'll split them with you.
So we're
not
gonna pay for, like, should we put like a date
Everyone
and time
here
out
is
there?
so game.
I think we should.
Now?
Yeah, we should find a good day.
Okay.
Let me get my calendar together.
Yeah.
Can you get your calendar out?
I think you guys should take some scooters over there, and anyone that's ever bought a new scooter from you guys should come over for a free donut. Or if they follow Best of Gainesville.
Okay.
Or Krispy Kreme Gainesville.
I'm down.
Okay, so this
It'd be
is
a really easy way to get a bunch of new followers on your Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be just a fun.
So what are the rules
then?
then? Are you making rules? What are you doing?
I don't know if there's any rules. I think we announced it. We announced it the day before, and
The day before. No,
Well,
I
this
think we
is
gotta
gonna have
announce
to
it
happen
here. I think we
after
should
the
announce it
podcast.
right
right
here.
now.
I think we need to pick it. If you're gonna do this,
You
we
said
need to
this
pick a
comes
date.
out November 12th?
So this comes out November 12th.
So it's got to be after
So
that.
it's got to be after that.
What's happening in November? I don't think
maybe
anything.
maybe you can do it.
Maybe we could do it after the
December.
podcast on that Tuesday.
Tuesday's a good day.
Tuesday's a great day.
Tuesday's a boring day, so.
Think that's enough time? I almost feel like with it being Veterans Day, you gotta let people get their listen in of the podcast. I'm thinking like early December, bro.
Okay.
Early December.
Like right after we win the SEC championship.
True.
Okay.
I'm predicting the future here.
I just know we're gonna stay undefeated through the bye week, which is
Right?
looking solid,
Not
man. That
undefeated,
Vanderbilt
but
win was crazy.
one loss.
We need to
let's
pick
see.
something, Ty.
Well,
If we're gonna do this.
Let's do it. Let's do it after the podcast on December 4th.
Okay, so on December 4th, is that a recording day? No, yeah. Okay.
Michael's going to be like, what are you doing?
Okay.
What now?
Okay. So
We get ourselves into all this stuff.
okay,
It's
so we're
more fun.
recording on December 4th. Is what you're saying?
I think so, right?
Yes. All right, so I'm super sorry for this crazy interruption that Ty just decided sporadically to go out on, and we're
figure it
literally
out.
making this up on the spot. But on
That's how we do all of
will
our
that work?
events.
That'll work.
Just randomly make it up.
This is going to be super interesting. On December 4th, we're going to have a WHOA GNV podcast day.
Yep.
Where our podcast is going to provide anybody who shows up, anybody,
Anybody?
free
hot donut.
a free hot donut. Okay.
Now,
super-
are you guys going to be in like uniform? Will you?
You want? I will 100%
Will you
do
be
it.
actually serving them?
I will 100%.
If we get you a donut costume, will you wear it?
a donut costume, I will 100% wear the donut costume.
I'll keep that in
probably
mind.
come out.
Okay, this could, yeah.
Just,
I will absolutely wear the hat
dances.
and serve.
It won't be
do all of it.
hot. Well,
it might be, but
So we're in, like, we can, like, you'll let me work there?
Yeah.
All right, so you guys, this is going to be super
might
awesome.
need to go through allergy training first, but
Allergy training. Okay. I'll go through whatever training is necessary. But Ty and I will be there right after the podcast. So
Yeah.
we usually wrap up around 9:30. So we'll be over there by 10 o'clock. Will that work?
Yeah.
And
That'll
then
work.
10 through, I don't know, a couple hours at least.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be so
I
excited.
don't know. They're
Two or
gonna-
3 hours.
Yeah.
We will be out there. We'll have cameras out there. We'll camera crew it up, and so come say hi, get on camera, say hi to the podcast, and then I don't know, we'll show it on our Facebook page or something soon. But we're definitely
Maybe
so Ty and
we'll build
I
in
we're
a couple
definitely
more
gonna buy.
giveaways or something by that date. We'll have something fun.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it up big.
I think
Yeah,
we
do
can
it
work
big.
out a discounted rate for you.
Yeah. So we're gonna buy 30. We're gonna buy 30 dozen donuts at least. But just come and like we're just gonna start handing out donuts from Ty and myself and Ty. Hey man, all the credit goes to you, my brother.
Yeah.
I love it. December 4th. Do not let me forget. I need to put that in my calendar as soon as this is over.
It's the new pirate day.
The new pirate day.
The Gainesville Pirate Day is what we'll call it. I'm gonna wear the outfit or the donut suit, whatever. I'm not gonna.
I
Are you gonna
can't
dress
wait.
up as a pirate?
No. I'll be fine as is.
no.
So we're literally just gonna be out there just handing out donuts.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna be 2 or 3 hours. I think it's gonna be about 25 minutes.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It probably won't take long.
Be there at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. is gonna be the start time. That's what we're gonna call it. 10 a.m.
Start time.
10 a.m. on
Let me
December
put this in
4th.
my calendar.
Just like that, I making plans for something that I was completely not expecting. But from a marketing standpoint, I love it.
Yeah, you gotta
And the
follow
hot
all
sign,
the-
the hot sign will be on.
That's how we
Just
came
don't
up
crash.
with our party in July. I don't know if y'all saw the party we had in July.
Tell us
No.
about
Is
it.
that the glazing?
We had a glazing hot summer party because we were so bored.
We were bored one day in the
We're
office.
like, what can we do?
And it started out with, let's have a little party for kids and let them color. And then it grew, and we ended up with the Basketball Cop Foundation there.
Oh, that's awesome.
The sheriff's office was there.
Fire.
GPD, Fire, Letcher County Fire Rescue and Gainesville Fire Rescue. Genius Entertainment came in.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
They were the DJ for no charge.
That's awesome.
Chick-fil-A came down and they gave out drinks. Publix came over
Serena.
and
Serena Entertainment, the face painting.
She knocked that out.
Yeah, that was...
rocked that out of the park.
Yeah.
Oh, so this was just like a completely spontaneous idea? Like how quick did you guys turn it?
Like a month, maybe.
A month? You're just like...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's about a month.
About a month.
It was like, it took a day.
We
she
gave
made
free
some phone
donuts
calls.
to everyone that came.
Everyone was like, yeah, we'll volunteer. We'll do this. And they're all like, can we do it next year? And we're like...
Yeah, and it was a scramble for some permits.
Yeah.
Because we needed some permits. Yeah. So that was interesting. Learned a lot.
It was fun though. People came.
Yeah, we had a blast. It was actually really busy. The Ultimate Towing let us use their parking lot across the street.
Okay.
And they didn't tow from there for 3 hours.
Awesome.
3 or 4 hours. They let everybody park there and come across. And we do a lot with the sheriff's office and GPD, and we try to help them out as much as we can if they need donuts for something. They actually do a program in the mornings called Donuts with Deputies. And it started out in elementary schools where they would go and bring donuts to elementary schools, and we provided the donuts and hats, and they would go and give them out after school to a bunch of the kids and hang out and play and all that stuff. Well, then they started driving from bus stop to bus stop and realized that they reached a greater variety of children that way. And they found bus stops that they didn't even know were bus stops. Like there's one in the middle of a parking lot by Home Depot, I think. I don't know if you know that. Like random spot in the middle of a parking lot. But so we'll donate 10, 15 dozen to them, and they ride around and hang out with the kids in the morning and sugar them up before school for teachers.
That's exactly what teachers need.
I know.
Students hyped up on sugar.
Right? Yeah. But yeah, they go and they hang out with them and build relationships. We've donated to the Basketball Cop Foundation. We try to help them out anytime they call and they're doing something. The big hurricane that we had, they had people from all over the country, different law enforcement agencies. We donated 400 dozen to them, just to feed the people that were here helping with cleanup. We were actually closed for 3 days last year for that hurricane.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we were closed for a little bit too. I was just like looking at this point right here, and it says that, and you might have said this earlier, but the machine can crank out 200 dozen donuts an hour.
About 250
dozen
yeah.
donuts. I think we should just keep this thing on for an hour. Ty's fronting the bill. The whole day.
It can go. It can crank. It cuts 6 donuts at a time, and
there's going to be a lot of donuts given away on December 4th. I'm telling you right now.
Donut eating contest. We could make that 250 disappear pretty quick, I think.
Yeah. Dude, this is going to be fun. All right, sorry. I'm all like hyped up and focused
is there
on this.
I know there's all sorts of, food eating contests. Is there a Krispy Kreme contest?
Oh, gosh.
I know.
Because that seems like something.
Hope not.
That would give you a stomach.
That means it's a good contest. Anything you hope that it's probably not,
right?
It means it should be.
The women's basketball team does a donut contest for halftime.
Okay.
They put a donut on a string, and people in sumo wrestling suits have to eat it off the string.
It's very strange,
it's
but
very entertaining.
It's entertaining. They're just like trying to eat it.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe the New Scooters for Less team should do a donut eating contest. First
And
one to
sumo
finish
suits?
a dozen.
Yes.
Everyone
Dude,
on the
they
team.
Have to go home. They have such a stomach ache after that, I'm sure. I know I
They'd
would.
probably be pretty good for about 20 more minutes. Then it would be over.
Nap time.
Yeah.
Take a siesta.
For sure. I will.
Corduroy's could be a sponsor too.
Tell them. We get all these sponsors. Yeah, we need the beanbags there, just so everybody can take a nap.
Tell the entire story.
Oh man, I'm like really kind of scared of what's about to happen.
It could be a nightmare.
So I want to spend the just last few minutes kind of circling back to business to like business talk, trying to provide some value to our entrepreneurial audience that's out there. That way it's just not us daydreaming about eating 250 dozen donuts.
No, we're marketing right now. So.
Yeah, you're doing a very, very good job. And I like it. I think it will be epic. I think we can make it really, really epic.
That'll be fun.
So, but you know, the thing that I'm kind of interested in is, and I don't, maybe you guys are too young to remember, but like throughout the year, do you guys ever remember like during the fact that you've had this for so long, or it's been in the family for so long, do you guys remember any struggles like during any of the economic downturns and that kind of thing?
Donuts actually do better in an economic downturn.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, and why is that?
Because people can buy 12 of them for a lower price, and that can feed breakfast for a few days. So actually, Krispy Kreme as a whole does really well when the economy is kind of going down a little bit.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of backwards. It's not that we're doing less now, because we're growing constantly.
I mean, it's kind of the same for us. I mean, we like back in 2008, like there was so much concern, and I don't know if you guys remember, like gas prices skyrocketed, and for the scooter business, that was the great. People were coming in and buying scooters because gas was so expensive. Like, oh my gosh, the thing could get 80 miles to the gallon. I'm buying me a scooter. Yeah. We're selling scooters to people who had never. That we wouldn't typically sell scooters to, so we were kind of similar.
Right.
What about like with students and seasonality? Does the student population here, like during summer, students leave, or during the holidays, students leave? Does that affect you?
Absolutely.
It does.
Absolutely. I mean, Gainesville's a whole different town in the summer than it is any other time of year. The summer, and then those couple glorious weeks in the winter where traffic is great.
Yeah. I mean, is it similar to our business, where it's like when August gets here, boom, boom, like sales start going up?
Absolutely.
Yeah, big time.
And then as soon as the temperature drops a little bit, that's another thing.
So when it gets cooler?
When it gets a little bit cooler, that
helps
first
you or
cold
hurt you?
snap is great.
Okay.
It helps a lot.
Like, I want a hot donut, hot coffee.
Absolutely, yeah. The cold snaps help, the students coming back. During the summer, we don't deliver as much. We don't have fundraisers. Everything's just quiet.
Okay.
Some days you have it's I mean, not crickets, but you find things to do, like our glazing hot summer party.
We were like,
marketing brilliance.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, we also wanted to do something for the local Gainesville community.
Yeah.
But and then the winter comes, everything picks back up, and you get busy, and it's a little bit crazy, and suddenly the workload gets a little bit heavier. During the summers, my employees get a lot more breaks.
Yeah.
But they know that in the fall and in the winter, it's time to buckle down. It's time to get going. You hit the ground running, because once the fundraisers start, it doesn't
Football
stop
season.
for months. Football season, the games are outrageous.
Yeah.
So.
That helps, football games.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
Kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yes. You get out-of-towners, you get the in-towners. Donuts before tailgates.
Yeah.
Ordering donuts before tailgates.
I'd assume, like that would be really big. It's easy to assume, like, with population increase for one day.
We're also a tradition for people. They come into Gainesville, and the old students, they want to come back to Krispy Kreme, where they were at 2 a.m. after whatever night partying. They always went to Krispy Kreme, so they have to stop by and grab a donut and reminisce a little bit.
We also have people who come in every day.
Yes, we have we call them coffee flies. We have people that have been our customers for 30 years. That every day they come and they sit at our bar, and they eat a donut and drink coffee, and they sit there and chatter. We had one that I remember specifically from when I worked in retail when I was in high school. His name was Mr. Roy. He doesn't come in anymore. I think he passed away. But he was a World War II vet. He would always talk about how he used to fly jet planes, and he was out there so much and talked to the customers so much, and added to the experience that we gave him a hat and a name tag and gave him his stuff for free as long as he wore it. Yeah. So he'd come in and wear it, and he'd talk to people and just have a good old time. Mr. Roy.
That's what I mean by that traditional feeling. It's got that, just that old school customer service, just, just a one-to-one relationship building with the customer. It just has that feel. So mad props to you guys. With that said, I mean, do you guys feel that, is there any threat to your business whatsoever? Like looking 5-10 years down the road, I mean,
not that I know of.
No.
No.
You can't ever predict the future, but I think as long as the hot light can flip on, then we'll be all right.
It's all
As
about
long
the
as
hot
we're
light.
cranking out donuts,
it needs to be like a bat signal, like straight up into the air. Boom, Krispy
Flare.
Kreme.
Right. like laser draws in the sky.
Yeah.
Not now.
And the one last thing I wanted
Insane.
to ask was kind of about the Dunkin' Donuts like branding thing where they're dropping the donuts.
Mm-hmm.
And from my perspective, that could be a really nice thing for Krispy Kreme.
Well,
'cause-
Dunkin' doesn't actually sell that many donuts.
Yeah.
We don't
A
consider
very
them
small percent
competition.
of their sales is actually donuts.
Yeah.
That's why they're making the change.
And they're
right?
trying to be like more of a lifestyle, whatever
Right.
they're trying to do.
I
But-
believe it's under 10%.
Yeah.
Last I heard, I think it was 5 or 6% of their sales is actually donuts.
Yeah.
But they also don't make them fresh. They don't, we start with mix. We add yeast. We add the shortening. We fry the donuts. We let them sit so they can rise before they go in the proof box.
Yeah.
We do all of that stuff that other places don't
Glaze
do.
them hot.
We glaze them hot. We do. And then actually, we've been changing out the glaze lately on occasion. That's a new thing that they started up this year. We've had lemon and blueberry and chocolate.
Oh, interesting.
The
Coffee.
chocolate. The chocolate's pretty good.
The chocolate, yeah.
Coffee.
Cool.
So
Is the coffee glaze still available over there?
no.
I have not. I didn't have it.
It's usually just like a one-day thing.
They
We might bring it back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we might just decide to do it one day.
Can we bring it back on
Yeah,
December 4th?
can we do it?
Are we asking for too much here?
You know what? I might be able to, but I gotta check. I gotta check my ingredients, but I may be able to work that
Okay,
out.
that'd be
Okay.
So to be determined.
We're changing the game. The WHOA GNV Podcast, changing the game right here in Gainesville.
I mean, if I don't have stuff for coffee, I could do chocolate for sure.
Okay.
If that was something you were interested in, but I'll check my stuff when I get over there.
Cool. I'm pumped.
Once I get my rental van.
Yeah, once you get your vans back, once
Once we find the van.
Once you buy a new van, rent a new van.
Right. Whatever we end up
I'm
doing.
sorry that you're going through that. Like, how frustrating. Well, look, we gotta start wrapping up. I'm super pumped about December 4th now. This is gonna be like one of those anticipating, like waiting for it to get here. So thank you guys for being here. Why don't you tell all of our listeners where they can find you, connect with you on Instagram, that kind of thing. Give us your handle and social media stuff.
That's hard.
Cool.
Instagram, I'm pretty sure it's Krispy Kreme Gainesville. And Twitter, I think it's Krispy Kreme GNV,
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Cool. And that's where people can connect with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And reach out to them if you need to do a fundraiser, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Definitely support them, and definitely come get your free donut from the WHOA GNV Podcast on December 4th at 10 a.m. It's going to be a rocking good time. We'll both be there. And
That'll be the kickoff to our little vacation. So
Yeah?
I'm out of town the next day.
all right, cool.
Couple days.
So a kickoff to Lynn's vacation. And guys, thanks again so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
You guys, this is the WHOA GNV Podcast, the podcast bringing you businesses and individuals that make you go, whoa. We will see you later. Bye.
I did not get that cue.
No,
I was not prepared.